Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to my channel. Today's story is going to be 41 years ago. When my daughter was 2 or 3 months old, we were living in Massachusetts, and it was snowing. In fact, it snowed 18 inches on Monday and 18 inches on Friday. You know, Massachusetts has great infrastructure for getting rid of all that snow. They plow everything, all the streets, alleys, parking lots, and then they ship the snow someplace. I'm not quite sure where, but the house we were living in had part of the roof was flat. The rest was regular peaked roof, and then there's a flat over the dining room was flat. Well, when it snows 18 inches on Monday and 18 inches on Friday, and it doesn't get above freezing, now there's 3 feet of snow sitting on the flat part of that roof. So we had a small piece of property, only an eighth of an acre, and it had a house. It had one detached one-car garage, and it had a driveway, and it was all fenced in, chain link fence. So I shoveled my driveway, putting the snow off to the side, and then I decided I need to go up on the roof and shovel the snow off the roof. So I went up the second floor, climbed out of the master bedroom window, and started shoveling the snow. Most of the snow I shoveled off to the front. I couldn't shovel any off to the side because I just got done shoveling the driveway, and I have to shovel that again. So I'm shoveling snow onto the front yard, and then I shovel some into the backyard. And I'm up there, I don't know, probably half an hour, 45 minutes doing this shoveling. And the next door neighbor lady, she had someone come over and use a snowblower on her driveway. I'm thinking, well, if I had a snowblower, I guess I could do that too, but I didn't have the money at the time. So I'm shoveling, about done shoveling all the snow, and Mary, the next door neighbor lady, she's standing out in the street with this guy with his snowblower. And she yells up at me, and I said, hi, and she goes, Kevin, come down here. I want to introduce you to Jean. Well, turns out she told Jean that they have a new baby, and I shouldn't be spending my time outside. And so I'm covered in snow. It's cold outside. I'm really dressed well. I'm warm, but I'm covered in snow. 3 feet of snow, pretty deep. So I figured, well, if I climb back through the window, it's going to take me, I don't know, half an hour to get outside after I clean all the snow off. So I looked out in the front yard, and there's this pile of snow as tall as the house, the flat part of the roof. So I took my snow shovel and I stuck it down, make sure it was firm enough. I didn't want to jump off into a pile of soft snow. And so I stuck it down there. Felt pretty smooth, pretty firm. So I threw my snow shovel off to the side, and I'll be down in a minute. And I jumped off the roof. I hit that snow pile. Of course, I was envisioning stopping about my knees, and I would climb down this pile of snow. But I did not. I stopped, and the top of the snow was up here. I couldn't see the house. All I could see was the sky. Well, I rocked back and forth in order to make a hole big enough, and I reached over. I could grab the chain link fence, and I pulled myself up, and I put 1 foot on the fence. And again, I envisioned myself jumping over the fence, landing on my feet, and then going and say hello to Jean. Well, that didn't happen. I put my foot on, my left foot on the fence, and I pushed myself up. My right foot, the trailing foot, caught the fence, and I landed face down in the snow on the other side of the fence. And I reached up and I said, hi, my name's Kevin. Well, from that point on, I was crazy, Kevin, because nobody jumps off the roof. Anyway, about that time, uh, this town came to shovel, I mean to plow the street, and they plowed the street. The street was nice and clear. Then they shoveled all that snow in the front of my driveway. Well, Gene came over with his snowblower and he blew the snow out of the front of my driveway. So that was really nice of him. So anyway, that's the end of that one. I think I might have another one here, but let me think about it a little bit. Okay, thank you. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm Kevin. I'm also known as Dad and Granddad. And I'm going to shout out to my grandkids that we made these tie-dyed shirts 2 years ago when I went to visit them, and I'm wearing it. I'm still wearing it. Okay, talk to you later. I'm Kevin, and welcome back to my channel. Well, the story I recorded earlier was 41 years old, and this one, I'm going to say it's 52 years old. The summer after the spring of my freshman year in high school, my dad converted our 22-foot fiberglass sport fishing boat into a 22-foot fiberglass commercial fishing boat. And the summers of after my freshman and sophomore year in high school, we went out commercial salmon fishing out of Newport, Oregon, and I went out 6 days a week, weather permitting, 3 days with my dad and 3 days with my grandfather when he came over a 2-hour drive from the valley. And it was a great experience. But one day, my dad had heard that the salmon were going to be out 25 miles off the coast. So he wanted to get an early start. We got up at 3:15 in the morning so we could go down to the boat. It's going to take us an hour and a half to get out there. We had this was the second year we were fishing, and we had a place, a slip in the bay where we keep the boat moored so we don't have to put it in and out every day. So we're heading down to the boat, and it's 3:30. My dad's going ahead of me. We had put a tarp on the top because it was an open boat. Well, he wanted to go down and take the snaps off and get the boat ready, and I was kind of lagging behind because I was still kind of sleeping. So I'm getting down there to the boat, and so the boat's shaped like this, but the slip is like this, it's diagonal or square. Well, I saw the little dock that went over to our boat, and I turned left and stepped off of the dock, and I fell in the bay. And at 3:30 in the morning, that water was cold. I was awake. At that point, I was awake. Luckily, I knew how to swim, but my clothes were wet and heavy, so I'm sitting there thrashing around in the water, kind of probably yelling like a little girl. But luckily, there was a guy next to our boat, and he yelled at my dad, and he goes, "Hey, there's somebody in the water in front of your boat." So my dad stepped out, and I see him coming over, and he puts his hand out, and I thought, I put my hand up, and he didn't take it. He was reaching for his thermos for his coffee. Anyway, he got his thermos, and then he helped me out of the water, and I thought for sure we got to go home and I would go back to bed. But that wasn't the case. We went back to where we were staying and changed my clothes, headed back out, and I guess we got out to the fishing grounds at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and we were out there for 12 hours that day. The fishing was great. My fishing experience has many, many, many stories, and I will tell some of them later, but that one, yeah, I have a thermos made by the same company that my dad's thermos was, Stanley. And I probably won't be dropping that one in the bay anytime soon. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this one, and there'll be another one soon. Okay, thank you.